Okay, one of the things I want to show you is in my cutting of the leather, in this scrap piece, there's a little bit of it was just not perfect here, it's a little off. You'll see, and that makes this not quite wide enough to fit around my tube. But you'll see once we get the glue going that this will stretch, and that'll actually make no difference. That'll be covered right up. The next thing you want to do is you want to get your tacky glue, and you want to run a couple of beads, along the edge. And then come into the middle and run a little bit more in the edge. Run a little bit along the tops and bottoms, and then over towards the end. Next thing you want to do is put a little bit on your tube in just a couple areas. You want to put a little bit on the tube just for in the beginning area, kind of smear it around a little bit, and that's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this glued and put it on, and you'll see once we get stretching how well it covers it. Okay, as I'm gluing this leather on here, placing leather on, I'm stretching it on the ends over the tube. Pull it, try to get the wrinkles out of there. See, I have a little bit of room there on the edge. This actually, it stretches. It really is good to work with. And we'll stretch it on each side as slowly I go around, smoothing it out, trying not to get any wrinkles in here. And again, any imperfections. Like you see here, I mismarked earlier, and got these ink lines. Again, that'll be covered over by the rawhide. So nothing to worry too much about. This is where I get down to the piece that's a little off, and where I'm going to need to start doing some real stretching here. But again, especially this kind of leather, goat, pig stretches really nicely if you ever want to work with pig. Goat I found to be more cost effective, a little cheaper. But when you're buying it in the bulk and the mess of scraps, just look around for it. It's just softer. It's almost like deer. It's almost like buckskin. It's really soft and sweet. So when we pull this around, let's pull it around. Now I'm a little short here, so what am I going to do? Same thing. I'm going to continue pulling. I'm going to do that off camera, and when I come back I'll show you the full finished product. Okay, finish stretching it over the board all the way around. Fit fairly nicely and snug. You see the marbly effect of the leather, but you don't have any wrinkles in here whatsoever. Little dark spots, don't worry about it. That's the glue. It'll draw away when it dries, and besides, it's going to be hidden by the rawhide when we get covered. And this is the seam where we had it separated quite a bit. You can see how it's stretched nicely. Difference between leather and rawhide: leather will stretch. Like it was when somebody says it fits like a glove. Think of shoes. When they say shoes will stretch, leather stretches. Rawhide does not. It'll shrink. So again, we stretch that over, works nice. Now we're going to measure our diameter. Okay, this was the circumference, the distance around the outside. Now we got a diameter, which is going to go from this side to this side. Once we have the diameter, we're going to measure, take that half of that, and that's the radius. That's the distance from the edge to the middle. So we used our ruler. We measured it across, and if you can see, we're at right about 8 1/4 inches. Okay, so I took half of that, which is 4 1/8 inches. I cut a string of that distance, tying one end to a pin and the other end to a stick pin. Next thing I did is I took a piece of poster board, which I did forget to mention to you earlier, poster board. And if you can see the lines, I stuck my pin in the middle. Okay, took my string and drew it and did my circumference all the way around. Okay, and that gave me my circle. Okay, now next thing you're going to do, using that where the pin was, there's a little tiny hole there, hard to see at this. You're going to put your straight edge right across that hole. Then you want to mark, coming in about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. You want to mark a little dot, like such. Coming over the other side, come in from there about 1/2 inch, and mark it about such. Now, take it in half The other way, do it vertical now, and do the same thing. Mark about a 1/2 inch there and about a 1/2 inch in there. Then you're going to cut that in half, like a pie, like pie pieces. In fact, if you want to draw the line, if that'll make it easier for you to get the pie pieces, that would work as well. But about a 1/2 inch from the line on each side is when you want to make your mark. Okay? Now that mark is where we're going to punch the holes for the lace to go through. That was the end of part 3. I hope again you'll visit us in part 4.